Hello world, I'm Alvin. Welcome to Tit for Tat, disNdatl, where you and I talk about hot button topics. Politics, current events, a little bit of celebrity gossip, some blue shadow cookie, and where the intersectionality between the Black, LGBT, LMNOP, and Het society. So grab a drink, sit yourself down, and join me for this tit for tat talk. Hey there. Thanks for joining me today on Tit for Tat, disNdatl. Today, let's delve into the accomplishments of three United States presidents, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, and Donald Trump. What are the key three domestic policies and achievements of our last three presidents? We will focus on key policies, legislative successes, and significant actions taken, as well as the impacts on our nation. We will also meet Tyrone, our new sponsor, have a little celebrity gossip news, a chuckle for the day, and an oh no you didn't moment. I put together a few slides that I'll read off. Today's show is sponsored by Tyrone Dwayne Eucalyptus Jones. Tyrone is out in the streets trying to get us to 1,000 subscribers. So hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. This helps the YouTube algorithm push my content out into the stratosphere, atmosphere, world, hemisphere, one of those spheres. And it help us reach this milestone. I really appreciate it. Under Biden's economic recovery and infrastructure policy, I've listed 6 achievements. This $1.9 trillion stimulus package aimed to provide relief from the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. It included direct payments to individuals, extended unemployment benefits, funding for vaccines, and support for small businesses. Number 2, Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. Signed into law in November 2021, this bipartisan infrastructure bill allocated approximately $1.2 trillion to improve the nation's infrastructure. This included funding for roads, bridges, public transit, broadband, internet, and water systems, with a focus on job creation and economic development. Number 3, strengthening the Affordable Care Act, also known as the ACA, also known as Obamacare. Biden's administration took steps to expand access to health care under the ACA, including increasing subsidies for health insurance premiums. thus making it more affordable for millions of Americans. The administration also launched a special enrollment period in 2021, allowing more people to sign up for coverage. Number 4, COVID-19 response. Biden's administration prioritized a robust response to the pandemic, which included accelerating vaccine distribution and launching public health campaigns aimed at increasing vaccine uptake. Hey, babe. That's my son coming in the door. This response was critical in managing the spread of the virus and mitigating the impact on public health, climate change, and environmental policy. Number 5, rejoining the Paris Agreement. One of Biden's early actions was rejoining the Paris Climate Agreement, signaling a renewed commitment to international efforts to combat climate change. This move was part of a broader strategy to enhance the United States' role in global climate discussions. Number 6, investment in clean energy. The Biden administration set ambitious goals for reducing greenhouse gas emissions and transitioning to clean energy. Initiatives included promoting electric vehicles, investing in renewable energy sources, and setting a goal for the United States to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. I've listed 5 of Biden's achievements under his social issues and equity policy. Number 1, Biden's presidency has emphasized diversity and inclusion in federal appointments, striving for a more representative government. This included appointing a diverse cabinet and prioritizing policies aimed at addressing racial inequities. Number 2, gun control measures. While faced with significant challenges in Congress, Biden has advocated for stricter gun control measures, including background checks and a ban on assault weapons. The Build Back Better framework. Although parts of his proposal were not passed as originally planned, it aimed to expand social safety nets, enhance healthcare access, and promote investments in clean energy. Components like the child tax credit expansion were implemented to reduce child poverty. Number 4, student loan relief. Biden's administration initiated a pause on federal student loan payments and interest accumulation during the pandemic. Additionally, efforts were made to provide targeted loan forgiveness for borrowers in specific circumstances. Number 5, health care and prescription drug policy. Efforts to lower prescription drug prices were emphasized, including proposals to allow Medicare to negotiate prices for certain medications, which could lead to reduced costs for consumers. In summary, President Joe Biden's domestic policies have focused on economic recovery from the pandemic, healthcare access, climate change, and social equity. His administration has sought to address immediate needs while laying the groundwork for long-term improvements. As with any presidency, the effectiveness and impact of these policies will continue to be assessed and debated in the context of ongoing national and global challenges. Let's move on to Barack Obama's key domestic policies and achievements. Under Obama's policies, I've listed 7 achievements. We'll start with number one, the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. Enacted in 2010, the ACA aimed to increase healthcare coverage, lower costs, and improve healthcare quality. The ACA expanded Medicaid, created health insurance exchanges, and mandated that individuals obtain health insurance or face penalties. Approximately 20 million Americans gained health insurance coverage as a result. They also included protection for people with pre-existing conditions and allowing young adults to stay on their parents' plan until age 26. Number two, the economic recovery and stimulus. In response to the Great Recession, Obama implemented the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009, a $787 billion stimulus package. The act included tax cuts, infrastructure spending, and funding for education and health care. The initiative led to job creation and economic growth, with unemployment dropping from a peak of 10% in 2009 to around 4.7% by the end of his term. Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act. Number three. Signed into law in 2010, this legislation aimed to prevent a repeat of the 2008 financial crisis. Established the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, increased regulation on financial institutions, and implemented stricter oversight of derivatives. While it aimed to increase financial stability, critics argue that it may have led to excessive regulation, potentially stifling economic growth. I'm getting tongue-tied, folks, sorry. Maybe I need to drink a little water. I'm getting tongue-tied or tongue-twisted, or I trip over my words when I'm reading out loud. Hell, I trip over my words when I'm talking anyway, so. Number four, climate change initiatives. Obama prioritized environmental policies, including the Clean Power Plan and international commitments to reduce carbon emissions. He played a crucial role in negotiating the Paris Agreement in 2015, which committed nations to combat climate change. His environmental policies aimed to transition the United States towards cleaner energy sources, though they faced significant opposition and were partially rolled back by subsequent administrations. Number five, social issues and equality. Obama advocated for LGBTQ plus rights, culminating in the Supreme Court's decision to legalize same-sex marriage nationally in 2015. He also reversed the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy, allowing openly gay individuals to serve in the military. These actions mark significant steps towards greater equality and civil rights for marginalized groups. Um, Donald Trump and the Republicans they're catering to the right wing, uh, evangelical, religious side of their party, and they're trying to roll back trans rights, of serving in the military. They're starting with them first, and then abortion rights, But then, we all know the story. Once you come for one group, you eventually come for the rest of us. So brace yourself. Number 6, education initiatives. Obama promoted several education reforms, including the Race to the Top program, which incentivized states to adopt innovative education policies and improve school performance. He also expanded access to community colleges and increasing funding for Pell Grants. And number 7, criminal justice reform. Obama worked on initiatives to reform the criminal justice system, including efforts to reduce mandatory minimum sentences for nonviolent offenses and promote rehabilitation programs for offenders. Okay, let's get into Donald Trump's domestic and foreign policy achievements or lack thereof. Number 1, healthcare. Trump sought to repeal and replace the ACA, claiming it was failing. His administration pushed for the American Health Care Act, which ultimately did not pass. While some provisions of the ACA were rolled back, example, elimination of the individual mandate penalty, overall the number of uninsured Americans increased during Trump's presidency. Number 2, economic policies. Trump implemented significant tax cuts through the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, lowering corporate tax rates and individual tax rates. While the economy saw growth and unemployment reached record lows before the COVID-19 pandemic, critics argued that the benefits disproportionately favored the wealthy and increased the federal deficit. Number 3, immigration. Trump took a hardline stance on immigration, implementing policies like the travel ban from several predominantly Muslim countries and the zero tolerance policy leading to family separations at the border. These policies sparked widespread controversy and debate over human rights and immigration reform. And if we all remember, he had quite a few Mexicans and other people coming that were coming from other countries uh, behind cages and stuff in tents and buildings and stuff down in Florida and the with kids and babies and stuff being separated from their mothers and their fathers. And in this current election, this recent election, um, a large majority of Hispanics, Latinos, Cubans, some blacks, women, everybody just kind of voted against their own interests and reelected him and put us all in peril. And when he gets ready to gather you all up, you Hispanics and Mexicans who think that he's not coming for you, he's coming for all of you. So when he gets ready to send the quote illegals back, he's going to send their the ones who are legal citizens back also. Number 4, Trump withdrew the United States from the Paris Agreement in 2017, arguing it was detrimental to American economic interests. This move was met with significant backlash from environmental groups and many world leaders, as it set back efforts to combat climate change on a global scale. Number 5, social issues. Trump's administration focused on conservative social values, including attempts to roll back protections for transgender individuals in the military and efforts to restrict abortion access. These actions heighten divisions on social issues and mobilize various advocacy groups on both sides of the political spectrum. Conservative social values. What the hell is that? Because I have not seen any of you so-called Christians, God-fearing Christians, Christ-like Christians. I have not seen any of you be very Christ-like. You've reelected the devil, and I'll leave it at that. In conclusion, President Barack Obama's domestic policies focused on expanding healthcare access, recovering from the recession, and promoting social equality and environmental protections. In contrast, President Donald Trump's policies emphasize tax cuts, deregulation, stricter immigration enforcement, and a reversal of several Obama-era initiatives. A little bit over a majority of the nation, not much, probably somewhere between 200,000 or 300,000 voted for Donald Trump and the Republicans, the party of takeaway. And you rather live in a fascist society where you're dictated and controlled over by a demagogue. And if you contrast the policies of Biden and Obama against Donald Trump, and you'll see that Donald Trump didn't have any policies. All he had was repeal, repeal, repeal. Speaking of fumbling over my words, a couple of weeks ago, we went to go see the movie Wicked. And after seeing the movie, we decided, Charles and I decided to do a live. And because it paralleled so much of what's going on in politics today. Actually, it paralleled what's gone on in the past also. Seems like we are doomed to repeat the past. I guess we're never learning our lessons, but anyway, during that whole live stream, I tripped over my words. I mispronounced the witch's name so many times. Her name is actually Elphaba, and I was calling her Alphaba. I was calling her Alfalfa. I was calling her Alfalfa. Oh my gosh! So, man, and Charles mispronounced her name a few times too, but not as much as I did. But anyway, it was really a great movie. So a great musical, and it's worth going to see. I've seen it 3 times so far with different friends. So let's move on to the gossip part of our show. It's called A Little Gossip. Because I'm not going to say much about it. I'll play a little clip, make a statement or two, whatever. I don't get into too much gossip, but for those out there who keep up with the Real Housewives and the Married to Medicines and all the different reality shows out there, this is for you. I'll put up my disclaimer. this is allegedly, because I have no proof of it. I don't watch the show. Uh, I did watch it a couple of times with my ex. He loved the all the different housewives shows. I think the Real Housewives of Atlanta and Married to Medicine. I think those was his favorite. Maybe something called Potomac or Potomac also. Um, but I do remember watching the real no, not the Real Housewives. I watched the Real Housewives of Atlanta with him a couple of times. But I think I watched Married to Medicine with him also, and I remember me and him getting into some discussion about the women on the show or the men on the show were like cheating or having affairs, and I did see Dr. Heavenly, and when I saw her, she was constantly going off on folks, you know. Um, just getting into a lot of drama and just just kind of a lot of toxic stuff seemed like it was going on to me. Um, but I mean, it was entertaining, and I did hear her, several times on the shows that I watched. She raved about her marriage and her husband, and she was all into other people's marriages, just causing drama and chaos and talking about their husbands, talking about them, putting them down. I did hear her mention something that she was like uh, she's a dentist, but she's also a relationship counselor or something like that, or she helps people in relationships, or I mean something to that effect, which I found it kind of hypocritical that she could be out there spewing and putting out that type of rhetoric that she spews out of her mouth, and then she's an actual counselor or something. So maybe she was just saying that for the show. I don't know, but the way I see it is, watch what you put out into the universe. Uh, I mean, if your own marriage and your husband's creeping around and on you also, and um, and you keeping up trouble in everyone else's marriage, except for your own, you know, I just say, watch what you say or put out there in the universe, um, because the universe always comes full circle. And I think what she's probably getting now is a little tit for tat. She's getting back what she put out there.
About Dr. Dennis Heavenly for some time. And I have told you all time and time again, I said there is something. Well, first of all, we know the lady is crazy and ghetto. Not talking about that. There is something wrong with her marriage. There is something going on. And I have said this time and time again. The reason and how you know is she attacks every single marriage in every single relationship. This is not the behavior of a person that is happy in their relationship. Now, Dr. Damon does give on cheese face, cheese smile, good guy. But I'm going to tell you this, those are the ones that you need to watch out for. Now, more and more information is saying that this man is creeping on her. And just maybe that is adding to her level of unhappiness, because I don't care how much Dr. Dennis Heavenly tells us she has this great marriage. That is a lie from the pit of hell. Now, what we learned in the most recent episode is Dr. Heavenly, as she always do, getting into these massive blowout arguments. And she's scared as hell because as we saw her run and try to get security after she done created a whole situation. But what we learned, and Dr. Concessa actually hasn't been the first one, but Her and Dr. Contessa got into it, and this is what Dr. Contessa said. She said that she need to be worried about those mixed babies with the Kimes last name, which is her husband's last name. Now, y'all, this is a lot to unpack because I don't know how long you guys have been watching Married to Medicine, and I have tried to find that episode, but I just don't remember which season it was. There was an episode several seasons ago when Dr. Heavenly was in her kitchen and one of the ladies came over to meet with her. I don't remember which one, but they opened her cabinet and she had baby milk in there. And they were like, what are you doing with this milk?" And she never answered. She kind of like played it off. But I really believe that something is going on with him because he gives us the impression that he's this good guy. But I want you guys to use your brain. The guys that appear to be a good guy is generally never a good guy. And this guy barely talks. He's just giving me weirdo vibes because of everything that has transpired, especially with some of the things that he said to Dr. G, and even trying to cover for his own wife, knowing she was wrong. Now, I'm not saying a man should be speaking against his wife, but you definitely shouldn't be speaking against the person who was pretty much dragged because of what your wife said. But the fact that he protects her makes me believe that she has something on him and that he does this to keep her from exposing him because he knows she's a loose cannon. So let me refresh y'all memory because maybe y'all didn't hear it. It was really fast, but Dr. I can't even remember now. Dr. Contessa said she needs to be worried about those mixed babies with the last name Kimes. Now, if y'all been watching the show, you know that at once upon a time, Dr. Tessa and Heavenly were friends, of course, until Dr. Dentist Heavenly sabotaged the relationship. Y'all, let's jump into the audio.
You think my husband's abusive? No. I do. Okay. Oh, you do? Okay, do you think Contessa is in an abusive relationship? Verbally, emotionally, yes. I think that you're abusive. I'm not even talking to you. You're abusive. The only friend you really got in your life is your own daughter. You have to buy every single person in your life. You bought your daughter an abusive box store. The shit didn't work. Bitch. Your kids don't like you. Your husband don't like you. That's why you sleep in different bedrooms. Your husband is abusive. What does your husband do? At least I ain't worried about no mixed ladies out here with the possible last name of Kimes.
Okay, guys, let's jump in and dissect this situation because I feel like that there is some things that's it's already starting to come out with regards to Dr. Heavenly's husband. And we know where there's smoke, there is fire because this is not something random. We are hearing this, or we have heard this now from multiple people on this cast, but it makes a lot of sense because if y'all can't tell that Dr. Dennis Heavenly is unhappy, then I'm not sure what's going on with you because it's clear that this lady is unhappy. Now we're hearing that they don't even sleep in the same bedrooms. I need you guys to understand that there are people that stay married because marriage is a business, and y'all heard the saying it's cheaper to keep her. And I believe this is that type of relationship. I believe that he does mess around, and I believe Dr. Heavenly is probably the type of woman that say as long as nobody finds out, because she's never ever going anywhere because there's too much smoke around this situation, and it's almost like some of the other ladies may know something, but just maybe not want to say it because they've heard this as well before, but kind of acted like it was a lie, which would indicate that every woman is lying because who was the first person that told us something about Dr. Day? Now, guys, you cannot forget about that notorious scene between Mariah and Dr. Heavenly. Now, I've never saw Mariah as a liar, but she was certain that she had the receipts because she said, "Don't let me tell you what kind of woman Dr. Damon likes." Now, what type of woman does he like? Now, Dr. Contessa said mixed babies. So, what type of woman does Dr. Damon really like?
Half slept with Damon. Half slept with Damon. Don't even do that. Do you want me to bring the receipts? Do I need to bring the receipts, baby girl? Because I got receipts. What is she talking about? Your husband. Ask him what he really likes. You're a freaking liar. With me. You know I got it. I'm done talking to you. Don't do me.
Okay. Oh, yikes. Well, I'll say beware of couples that like to wear matching pajamas. Been there, done that. There was something lurking beneath. Okay. No, I'm kidding, folks. I can't put that on everybody who wears matching pajamas. Um, it is kind of odd to me, though, but. But yeah, I would probably say that allegedly there might be something going on. They alluded to several of the cast members alluded to uh, mixed babies. So I'm assuming there might be some illegitimate children out there somewhere, probably of mixed race. Maybe seems like they alluded to somebody like he might like white women or Hispanic women or other ethnicities. Let's put it that way. Um, so I guess we'll see. And shout out to Lakeisha spilling the tea uh, for her video. So I'm gonna move right along here onto our "Oh No You Didn't" segment, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about Orlando Jones. I was watching Karen Hunter. She's on Sirius XM. I listen to Karen Hunter, uh, Clay Kane, Reese Colbert. Oh, I love me some Reese Colbert, and her political views are on point. But anyway, so I was watching Karen Hunter. I mean, I pulled up a YouTube video. I used to watch all three of them on Sirius XM, but I since have started just watching their YouTube segments on YouTube. They actually were addressing Jonathan Majors. The statement that he had made was, "The woman that supports me, that I support, needs to be a great woman and make sacrifices." I think he was making this statement towards his old girlfriend, and he's now with Megan Good, and he's saying like she's an angel, I guess, compared to his other girlfriend, to his ex girlfriend. So he's saying that Megan is an angel, and she holds him down like Coretta Scott King. And there's a lot of people who took offense to it. I mean, it didn't bother me, but there's quite a few people who took offense to it. I believe that Martin Luther King's daughter, Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott's daughter, Bernice, I think she took offense to it and made a few statements or something. But that wasn't really what got me. It was his statement about gay people wanting to be like women, and that kind of, you know, it kind of made me think, like why do straight people always think that gay men want to be women, or we're trying to take something from women or emulate women. Um, and I know there are some out there that do, but the majority do not. And just for him to make that type of statement, contrary to popular belief, most gay men do not want to be women. Most gay men are not feminine. Yes, sometimes we can explore our masculine and feminine sides, which is best to do anyway. Um, but to lump us into we want to be women, or be just like women, or take something from women or whatever. There's quite a few women who emulate gay men, who emulate drag queens, who emulate trans, just like there are trans and gay men and drag queens, some of them that emulate women, but that's not the majority. The majority of us, we live just regular, boring ass lives, just like everybody else, and most of y'all will not even know that we are gay or whatever anyway. And I'll leave it at that.
Is what that makes a black woman feel like, right? So, and how that wealth can often find itself not reaching your family or not reaching the people who held you down all that time because of the decisions you made, right? You don't think of it in the full scope of what it's like. And I think that's because largely black men don't understand that black women are at the bottom of the totem pole. And we have a responsibility to step up and to try and be there and to try and uplift the ones that held us down, as Megan is now holding him down. But this notion that you got to be a Coretta Scott King to be with him and we're actors, that's ludicrous. That's I don't know what that is.
He be
That don't make
bugging.
no sense.
He be bugging. He be bugging. I mean, but I
Yeah, he's talking a little
understand.
crazy there.
Yeah. I feel like yes, he needs to. But you know
Yeah,
what?
I mean,
That
you know
level,
what I mean? Like, I
that
get,
level
I
of
get your
delusion, though,
desire.
Orlando. That level of delusion is sometimes what people need to be that level of success too. I mean, I feel like actors, by and large, y'all live in delusion. You are
Yes,
acting. You are becoming something, a character in a world that may not exist. There's a level of
you're
delusion
somebody
that
else most of the time.
yes.
If you're
So
working a lot.
I'm not gonna hate on them for that. But I will say, whether it's Harry Belafonte or Sidney Poitier, there is a twing, a twinge. There's a knot a little bit when I see that, because it does speak to value, especially in a society that has placed a hierarchy on who's desirable. If
100%.
you look at the dating apps, black women are you're right. We're at the bottom, even though I feel like everybody's trying to be us. So
No,
it's
wait. Everybody is absolutely trying to be you. LGBTQ culture is by and large only pulls from.
No. the majority of us don't pull. The majority of us pull very few from black women or any women. We're men, most of us. So there's this show that I watch on YouTube. It's called iHip iHip News. Um, it stands for I've Had It podcast, and it's these two ladies, and they're pretty hilarious. I was watching it the other day before the Christmas break, before Pumps went on hiatus for a few days, I guess vacation for the holidays. And I was watching it, and towards the end of it, she just said something that that kind of took me out. I'm gonna play that. That's gonna be my little chuckle of the day, and that's spelled CHUKLE, chuckle. So enjoy, everyone.
Okay, speaking of being a sore winner,
I would like to take a very smug victory lap right now. And I would like to read a headline to all of you that says Stanley recalls 2.6 million mugs. Wow. Here's what's affected. According to the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission, Stanley is recalling about 2.6 million switchback and trigger action travel mugs due to a burn hazard. So far, there have been 91 reports worldwide of lids detaching, resulting in 38 burns, with 11 needing medical attention. Anyone with these travel mugs should immediately stop using them and contact Stanley for a free replacement lid. And what I have to say about this is something that is continuing to happen and happen again. Number one, I knew that these mugs were killers.
You have been sounding the alarm.
I have been sounding the alarm for a very long time. So here we have 38 burns, 91 incidents, 11 people that needed medical attention. This is before you even get to the slippery slope that leads you to a Trump rally or an insurrection at the
Right.
Capitol. This is child's play compared to the cult-like tendencies that these cups can push people down. And so what I have to say about this is, number one, I knew they were killers. Number two, I've also identified that these cups have lead in them. Lead is known to cause all sorts of problems to the human body. And I think this is just the first little domino to fall.
You do? Okay, I have an announcement about my Stanley Cup, and I haven't done it yet, but I was told last night that my friend's dermatologist told her that the Stanley Cup, sucking on a Stanley Cup with the straw, is the same thing as smoker's lips.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm denouncing my Stanley Cup because I don't pay this much money for Botox and filler to fucking ruin it with Stanley Cup. So I'm going to have to do something else. I don't know what I'm going to do because this just, I mean, it's not even 24 hours old.
That was hilarious to me when she went on about that Botox, because I don't usually hear people just come out and say Botox or fillers. As much as we seen it in surgery and our plastic surgeons, as much as they, I've seen it, and then we do it in surgeries and stuff. I just don't really hear people come out that bluntly and talk about their plastic surgeries or their fillers and Botox. But I guess it's becoming so common now that so many people are getting it, that it's just everyday language now. But just the way she said it too, it just rolled off of her tongue like it was just water. But anyway, love those ladies. They are hilarious. And quite on point also. So before I wrap this up here, I would like to bid farewell to Jimmy Carter. Farewell, Jimmy, and sleep well. Join me next week as we delve into are you top, bottom, or verse America's caste system. And I might throw in a little bit of LGBTQIA tidbits also on top, bottom, or verse. So I'll leave you with a little song here as we sign off. Although this song doesn't pertain to him, I just like the song. It's actually Phyllis Hyman, and it's a slowed down version of her. She's still her singing, but it's slowed down. It sounds like a man, but it's not a man. It's actually her. And I love her version, and I like this version also. Oh friend, slow.
the laughter, things we used to do are memories that warm me like a sunny day. You touched my life in such a special way. I miss the way you ran your fingers through my hair. Those crazy nights we cuddled in your easy chair. Oh no, I won't let foolish pride turn you away. I'll take you back, whatever price I pay. Oh, friend, it's so nice to feel you hold me again. No, it doesn't matter where you have been. My heart welcomes you back home again. Remember those romantic walks we used to take? You held my hand in such a way my knees would shake. You can't imagine just how much I've needed you. I've never loved someone as I've loved you. Oh, friend, it's so nice to feel you hold me again. Oh, it doesn't matter where you have been. My heart welcomes you back, oh friend. This is where our happy ending begins. Yes, I'm sure this time that we're gonna win. Welcome back into my life again. Yes, I've tried to live my life without you, knowing I had lost my closest friend. Though I feel alone from time to time, knowing I would never find the kind of love I had when you were mine. Oh, friend, it's so nice to feel you hold me again. Oh, it doesn't matter where you have been. My heart welcomes you back, oh friend. This is where our happy ending begins. Yes, I'm sure this time that we're gonna win. Welcome back into my life again. Welcome back into my life. into my life again.
Happy New Year's, everyone. Happy 2025. Thanks for joining me today. And please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.